trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. All right, let's see here. 1 minute. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see. I'll just turn this volume up. And it sounds like we got a microphone. Testing, 1, 2, 3. There it is. All right. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate you. I know not the right time, a regular time. So I appreciate you guys showing up. Let me just get in here real quick. Alrighty. Looks like I'm on. And all right, good enough. The green screen's a little bit off, but I'm just not going to touch it. All right, guys, thanks for being here. It's afternoon here in Las Vegas, Pacific time zone. I see Jolie was first. MJ Daniel says almost first. Sandy Foltz is third, saying hello to everybody. So hello to y'all. Welcome, and thanks for being here. Just had a late morning. Just me running around trying to get things figured out with my move. If I'm approved for the move, I still don't have official. Nothing's official yet. The caseworker says that she's handed it in to her people above her, and that I should be hearing something. She said today. So hopefully by today I'll hear. Now I did see something on their website online. When you go into the Clark County Social Services, I have an account, or I have a application there, a file, and all the way up to this point, it's just been saying, like, case is pending, caseworker has been assigned to your case, whatever. Now today, for the first time, I saw where it actually says something about what caseworker has initiated payment or something like that. So that sounds encouraging, but then when I talked to the caseworker through email, we've been going back and forth on emails, she didn't say anything about that. So I don't know. So I'm dealing with that. Plus, I went down to the office and explained to them I don't want to pay, because now rent's coming up due. I don't want to pay for another week if I don't have to, and I'm just waiting to hear today. Hopefully by today I will know one way or the other if I need to pay for another week here or not. So that's kind of what's been going on. That's kind of those things. It might not sound like much, but it just takes time to do all this correspondence and walking around and doing stuff. So it just made me late. And then plus I had to go get something to eat. I went over to Jack in the Box to and I ordered a like a meat lover's breakfast burrito, combo. And when I got it, I didn't even look at it because I've never had this issue with them before. But she goes, number 362, that was me. She goes, meat lovers burrito, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. So she just, she handed me the bag. I just took the bag. I didn't look inside. I just took the bag, took my orange juice, came back to the apartment. I opened it up, and it's the guy who was right after me. Because I remember he ordered like their double cheeseburger, double bacon cheeseburger, and that's what was in my bag with a hash brown. So she put the hash brown in there, which they only do that really for the breakfasts. And so I didn't feel like going all the way back. So I went ahead and ate the cheeseburger instead of my breakfast burrito. So that kind of pissed me off. I guess from now on, I'm going to have to make sure I check the bag and make sure put the right shit in there. So anyhow, how are you guys doing? I got Alvin Stoops here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we got AM is here. Brooklyn's here. Brooklyn, aka Trixie LaRue. Hello, Brooklyn, aka Trixie LaRue. I changed my name again. Yeah, you did. Robert Perez says, Calgon and Trucker John, take me away. Search for You is here. Josh is here. Lounge Crew, thumbs up. Thank you, Josh. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. Do you have a carpet knee kicker? I no longer have my carpet installing gear. I no longer have that. I think I lent it out to one of my friends. Who was doing some carpet work, and I never got it back. And that was like, it had to be over 30 years ago, probably. Rob Perez, what a stud muffin, Johnny. Nick Rich, like number 13. Good day, folks. Good day, mate. I had some Australian folks in my cab last night. AM, did you get your place yet? Well, I'm still waiting to hear. Still waiting to hear. Hopefully I will find out within the next few hours, I guess. I don't know. Mr. Bogle, did you eat breakfast? I did. I just did, yeah. Yeah, no official date. Mr. Spock is here. Says caseworker sounds like you're on parole. Sometimes I feel like I'm on parole. Brooklyn SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, says I can't wait to hear TJ say my name. I can't wait to hear TJ say my name. Hey, Trixie LaRue. It's Trixie LaRue. Scully Pop's here. Hey, Scully, good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in. Always good to see Scully. Scully. Ivy Joe Rains is here. Ivy Joe says, afternoon, everybody. Reporting from, I guess that's the Upper Peninsula of Wisconsin. Beautiful day to sit outside and watch time go by. Just enjoy those days, huh? When they're beautiful days, it's just nice to kick back and just take it all in, right? Carrie C's here. Hey, Carrie, good to see you. Good to see you, Carrie C. Josh, Meat Lovers sounds like a dating app. Have you never heard of anything called Meat Lovers besides where your dirty mind is going? You never got a Meat Lovers pizza or anything like that? Anyhow. Jolie, always check the bag, Sean. I guess so, Jolie. I guess you're right. I can't argue that. You know. But they've never done me wrong before. I've eaten at that Jack in the Box dozens of times probably, but now I will be. Dan B says, "Hey, hi all. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Even though the stupid shit bill passed, it is already messing with my health insurance. That sucks, Dan B. I know it's just it just sucks what's going on. It really does. Um, and we can't be. Let's not let them try. Get away with trying to fool. I know they're not going to fool us, and I don't think they're going to fool very many people. But a lot of the stuff in there, they put it off so it doesn't start up until after the 2026 midterm congressional elections, and because they know if it happens, if all that stuff happened beforehand, it would just really piss off a lot more people. Hopefully, that little trick won't work, and we will just show up in droves, whatever a drove is. Past tense of drive? No, no. But and we'll just we need to take over Congress. We need to have a a takeover. I was going to say hostile takeover, but then that sounds. I'm not talking about hostility. I'm not talking about violence, but we certainly need to just in overwhelming numbers show up at the polls, and we need overwhelming numbers in both the House and the Senate. We need to get it back so we can stop Trump. It's just a matter of time before we have another COVID like situation with RFK Jr. Canceling all these vaccination programs and all of these programs through our health departments. It's just a matter of time. We're going to have another fucking COVID like thing happen in the States, and we're going to be fucked because Trump. I think it's twofold. I think he's a fucking moron, and I think he's also intentionally going to, not uh, address that any issue like that. And he has a bunch of fucking idiots like RFK Jr. in there. So I mean, I hate to be the bearer of such gloomy news, but strap in and hang on because it's going to be these next few years. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. You know, it's just a matter of time. We're going to have a huge health crisis. Uh, and we're already seeing results of these shutdowns by Doge. All these mass firings of all these departments, like NOAA, the National Weather System, and we're seeing what's the results of that in Texas right now. They're so understaffed, they can't get out the warnings on time. They don't have the equipment isn't being observed or even probably put in place that that watches all of these weather events. We're going to see more and more of that. It is kind of just really depressing. And why am I why am I doing this? I don't mean to depress everybody, but I'm hoping maybe. I mean, we need to make sure we all get out and vote, man. Search for you. Never loan out your tools. Well, at the time, I really hadn't been laying carpet for a long, long time. The stuff was just sitting in my garage, and it was a buddy of mine who did side jobs, and he was a carpet guy that I knew, but his tool he didn't have his tools anymore either, and he kind of had a side job come up. It was not that big of a deal because I had been out of the carpet laying business for 20 years probably at that point, or at least, well, at least 10 or 15 years, I guess. And so, it's not like it was stuff I really was using a lot and needed. So it was not that big of a deal. Um, Mr. Spock, are you related to Johnny LaRue? Brooklyn says, maybe, maybe. Debbie says, there is so many stupid people out there that are believing Trump media. Brooklyn says, you okay? Trixie LaRue says, what the fuck? With that email saying how great it is that the bill passing. Um, who wrote that bill? I mean, who wrote that email? Was that Trump? A Trump email? I don't know. I don't know about that. Josh, we need a 70% majority. Sandy Fold says hi again. Hello again. Search for you. I'm afraid people won't show up. Well, if they don't, then what can I say, man? What can I say? Danby says, well, something has to get done fast because he's already talking about messing with the midterms. We have to start mobilizing. MJ Daniel says, constitutional takeover. Americans need to get their heads out of their asses and vote the Republicans out. Not sure if the U.S. is capable of that. I think we're capable of that. We've had swings. We've had it where things swing back our way. I think we're very capable of it. AM says he's a moron with power, which makes him dangerous. Thank you. Oh, no. Oh, you were talking about Trump, probably, I guess. Josh says a lot of nasty stuff doesn't go into effect until after the midterms, which I already just said. Then when we flip the House and Senate, they can blame the Democrats. Well, no, when we flip the House and the Senate, we can probably change it. We could put it. If we can have the numbers, and preferably veto-proof numbers, then we can go back in there and change it. It's not permanent. It's not permanent if you have the numbers in Congress. Dan B says that the tariffs are taking effect August 1st, and the roller coaster ride will start going downhill fast after that. Hey, there's Aaron West. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. We are now at full mod capacity. Sandy Foltz is asking if there are any viewers that live in Niagara Falls area, New York, willing to help me move some heavy trash. So maybe if there's anyone that's around there, maybe could give Sandy a hand. Aaron West says we had people flooded up to their necks in Chapel Hill, North Carolina from the tropical storm yesterday. MJ Daniel, with dangerous loonies like RFK, we may see more dead than with COVID. Yeah. I think we're already seeing some measles outbreaks and things that we haven't seen for decades and decades, things that we've had under control because of the vaccine programs. And I think we're starting to see already some of these things popping up. So it's pretty bad. If you have access to getting a vaccine, get it now. Or whatever shots you need to get, whatever medications you need to do, whatever you can get now. If you can stock up, because I don't know, man, what's going to happen as we go further with availability of medications and things. Sandy Foltz, I've been voting since I was 18. Now I'm 61. Me too. I've been voting since I was 18, and now I'm 64 and 3/4. I think I am something like that. Brooklyn SAU, aka Trixie LaRue, says keep your tool to yourself. That's probably good advice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Brooklyn, aka Trixie LaRue, says Social Security sent an email. I got that. Yeah, I got that email. It was ridiculous. It made my first thought was, please don't fuck with anything in there, please, you fucking assholes. Rob Perez says, Johnny, is it true that In-N-Out Burgers contributed money to the Trump campaign? Is it true? And if so, would you stop eating there if it's true? I have no idea if it's true. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. And I probably would stop eating there, I guess. Because I think that's pretty, that would be pretty, I know, pretty stupid of In-N-Out. And I know In-N-Out is independently owned. They don't do franchises or anything like that. The owner, she's the heir of the founders of the company, and she's a billionaire. She's become a billionaire, you know, from In-N-Out Burgers, you know. So it wouldn't surprise me because billionaires, they don't seem to be the most socially conscious people. They do tend to get a little sociopathic. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I remember reading a few years ago something about what I just said about how she inherited the company and she became a billionaire, just running the company. I think just by I don't think it's not incorporated or anything like that. I think it's a family business still, or it's not a corporation. I believe it might just be an LLC or something. And she's a billionaire, and that's about all I know about her. And she was I think a daughter or a granddaughter of the original founders. Um, but we have assholes like Elon Musk. Notice I said Elon and not Elon. Elon Musk. Um, Zuckerberg, Bezos, I don't have a really favorable opinion of any of those assholes. And so when you think of billionaires, I think of them. So I don't know if she's like that or not. I don't know if she's one of those type of asshole billionaires. Sandy Foles says it's so dangerous in Niagara Falls. It's time for me to move to Wausau, Wisconsin. I'm waiting on my stepdad inheritance. It's dangerous there because of like high crime and stuff. Aaron says I'm about 35 minutes from Chapel Hill. MJ Daniel says we need to be sure full blame for everything goes where it belongs on the party in the majority. And look at how, see, I told you, Trump will always just blame Biden. And a reporter asked him about the flooding in Texas. And the first thing he did is not blame Biden, but he blamed Biden. Okay. People are trying to say he didn't blame Biden because of the way he worded it, but he still was blaming Biden just by mentioning his name, because he kind of blamed Biden, and then he said, actually, it's not Biden's fault. It's the equipment or some bullshit. But still, he has to bring up Biden's name. Trump can't be man enough to just take the responsibility. He's a fucking such a chicken shit coward. This is who these fucking maggots idolize. This fucking milquetoast chicken shit little coward who can't take responsibility for anything and has to always blame Biden. It's just it's sickening. It's really sickening. MJ Daniel, food safety too. Yeah, everything. Everything is at risk. Sandy Foltz says Trump had passed the bill of cutting SNAP, Medicaid, and Social Security and Medicare. Um, yeah, and all those things. Most of those things, I think, are going into effect. I believe. Don't hold me to it, but probably in 2026, maybe late 2025. Uh, well, it's pretty much all timed to happen after the next elections, the midterm elections. Social Security, I don't think they've made. I don't think they've made any cuts to Social Security. Um, I forget. Not that they're not trying. They're trying. They're going to try to fuck Social Security up too. But in this bill, I don't think there was Social Security stuff. But I could be wrong. Someone can correct me on that, or update me on that. If you could, that'd be great. Dan B says this whole administration is a joke, a complete joke. No one is in place to lead this country. No one, every department has a bumbling idiot leading it. That's when we learned about the word kakistocracy. Because this is a kakistocracy, which means it's full of caca. We're being run by a bunch of caca. City Folks, TJ, any word on your new place? Well, I guess you weren't listening earlier. You must have been out doing something, but I'm just still waiting, basically. Still waiting. Hopefully, I'll hear something today, but still haven't got the final word. Nick Rich says nobody needs $1 billion. I've heard that before. Yeah, someone keeps saying that. Who is that? MJ Daniel says I don't think we have any in and outs, but there are a couple of Chick-fil-A's, and I have never been. Yeah, see, Washington, if you're in Eastern Washington, I don't know if there's any up there. There might be some. I know there's some in Oregon along the I-5 corridor for sure. I'm trying to remember if there's an In-N-Out up in Washington along the I-5. It would probably be somewhere along the I-5 corridor. There probably is, but I can't remember. But out where you're at, if you're out in the boonies out there, they might not have them yet. Terry says, Sandy Foltz, it does, but not Social Security. But according to the deficit, it could affect Medicare. Brett Rose says, this isn't about party. It's about freedom for everyone versus freedom for billionaires. Both parties are on the same side and have been for a while. It's not rich or race. It's peasants versus billionaires. One of those both sider people. Brett Rose is apparently. Let me tell you something though. Do you really think that if Kamala Harris had won in 2024, that we would be facing all this shit we're facing right now? We'd be facing cuts in Medicare and Medicaid. We'd be facing cuts in SNAP. Do you really think that we would be on the verge of a national health crisis? Do you really think that we would be shutting down like NOAA and National Weather Service? Do you really think that all this shit? Do you really think that we would go from creating 300,000 jobs a month to now? I think we're at the last jobs report. Was it 98,000 or was it negative? Was it a negative number? Did we lose jobs? Do you really think this? That's why this both siders fucking bullshit doesn't compute. It doesn't add up. It does not add up because we went from Trump in 2016 to 2020, or 2017 to 2021, where with just a gross mishandling of a pandemic, a global pandemic, which hundreds of thousands of people died unnecessarily under Trump, and we went to a pretty damn good economy under Obama to when Trump was leaving a tanked economy, an economy in shambles, to Joe Biden becoming president, kicking COVID's ass. You know, getting the ball, getting that going, getting vaccines to everybody, you know, handling it properly, and a pretty quick turnaround in our economy, turning a really shitty economy into the envy of the world, and seeing numbers, economic numbers that we hadn't seen in decades in terms of the positivity. So you want us to come in here and say both sides? Uh, Brett Rose, with all due respect, go fuck yourself. You're an asshole. You're an idiot. Dan B says, from the Business Insider, the mysterious family behind In-N-Out has donated more than $15,000 to Trump and the GOP since 2016. That's probably good enough reason for me not to eat there ever again. I think, you know. Aaron West says it is about party. The Republican voted for this. Yes, it's absolutely about party. Thank you, Aaron, for backing me up on that. Sandy Foltz, talking about Niagara Falls, where she lives, says it's the crime, and I have nothing to do with other family members who live out here. Yeah, that sucks, and hopefully you can get that move as soon as possible. MJ Daniel quotes, "It's the fault of the people that have not been in charge for months." In quotes, fucking ghouls. Yeah, they'll just always blame Biden, and you know. Dan B says Biden is living in his head rent free. He is such a complete fool. In my opinion, I still think this is Putin's doing, as he told his puppet to do this, so we die from the inside out. I believe that Trump is Putin's puppet, just like Hillary Clinton accused him of being in that one of those debates they had. And he goes, "I'm not Putin's puppet. You're Putin's puppet," like a little fucking kid. He's such a fucking moron, you know. Terry says no Social Security cuts in this bill. Yeah, I that's what I thought. Michael Gadger says just back from Heart and Vascular. Yep, they say I'm still alive. Hey, Michael Gadger, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you had a good checkup going on. Hopefully everything's okay with you. Let's see. I forgot to do this here. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? Joey says like, subscribe, and share. We're finally at over 3,900. We're getting closer to dandelion eating time. Chris time 12:36. So I'm about 8 minutes behind. Bonnie Thompson says the person who could have sent out warning left that position in San Antonio April 30th. Yeah, and they have no replacements. Brett Rose, they will try to privatize Social Security at some point. They've been trying that forever and ever. And yeah, I wouldn't doubt if they're going to keep trying. Josh says they just want to privatize everything so they can grip off of it. Brett Rose, a good economic system wouldn't allow billionaires to form. And I think we have a much better chance of taxing the billionaires out of existence under a Democratic Party run government than we will ever have with a Republican one. So they're again, you can't. I don't know how you can say both parties are the same. TJ, I think you hit your mic cable. No, I just turned my mic over, and it probably made a noise. Brett Rose says, no, of course not. The Republicans right now are fascists. Right. So don't come in here with this both parties do the same thing bullshit. Or that they're both the same, because they're not. Brett Rose, don't mistake me for a MAGA. I'm not. I just think this both siderism, the both siderism thing, it irritates me to no fucking end. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is perfect, and they've always done things right and the right thing or the best thing. There's mistakes that have been made and strategies that were wrong, but I'll take a Democrat over a fucking Republic any fucking day of the week. Robert Perez says In-N-Out donated $4,277 to Trump and $1,616 to Kamala Harris. That's kind of funny how when they donate to both sides, even though they did Trump way more, but they always try to play both sides. I think even Trump back in the day contributed to both Republicans and Democrats, like way before he was president. Just pick a fucking side, Brett Rose says, I'd say you shouldn't make assumptions about people. Okay. I didn't say you were MAGA. Not once did I ever accuse you of being a MAGA. I just got on you about the both sides are the same thing. Maybe someone else in the chat. Maybe you're talking to somebody else in the chat. I don't know. MJ Daniel says Silvana Garza Valdez and Maria Paula Zarate, 19, working as counselors at Cap Mystic, helped evacuate 20 girls. Doubt you will hear their names from Republicans. Hell, I haven't even heard that from Democrats until just now. Brett Rose, who said both sides were the same? You did. I said they were both on the same side. Oh, Jesus. I never ever said that they were the same. And now you're mincing words. Now you're just mincing words. About, you said they were on the same side. They're not on the same side, dude. Sandy Foltz, what happened to Fancy? That's a good question. I haven't seen Fancy in a while. So sometimes Fancy disappears and does their own thing and goes off. We had this before where we didn't see Fancy for a long time, and then to the point where I was wondering if Fancy had just been some bot, But I don't know. Sandy, that's a good question. Keith Philippe is here. Hey, Keith. Keith says, how much longer until Trump's physical health fails? Mentally, he's already seriously ill. I think his physical health is failing also. He's not looking so good. But, Josh says the NOAA cuts are ridiculous. So much relies on that information. Yeah, I mean, the fishing industries, the farming industries, just from that from the economics of it, let alone the safety, of it, which is very important as we're seeing now. What I think is over 80 dead now in this flood in Texas. Um, but they don't give a shit. Trump and even Elon Musk, when he was in there, doesn't give a shit. And I say, Elon Musk, start your new American Party, get it going. It's just so we can see Republicans and maggots and everything just fight each other. Let them destroy each other. Barney says Fancy is off doing fancy stuff. Good day, Brett Rose. Get the fuck out of my fucking chat, motherfucker. I don't get, get the fuck out, asshole. I'm Joe Rains. I'm so excited to not retire. Anybody else? Thanks, Trump. Yeah, Trump is just in every aspect of life. Trump is fucking it up for us, MJ Daniel, I think they're trying to hold off from using the 25th with DJT until after the midterm. And to use the 25th Amendment, it has to be people in his own cabinet. And they are all fucking total sycophants. So good luck on that. AM says, I don't support Home Depot because they contributed to Trump's 2016 and 2024 campaigns. Yeah, I really haven't set foot in Home Depot since then either. Sandy Foltz says, my son wants me to live out near him. I think that'd be great, Sandy. Live out by your son, and hopefully it's a safer place and everything, and work out for you well. Michael Andrews, I'm starting to agree with those who say Trumpy has a death cult. MJ Daniel, Everly Brothers, Putin's clown. Michael Andrews, the dandelions are good this time of year. Yeah, hopefully we'll get there soon. Dan B says we lost a million people here from the pandemic. Not all retired. We lost people that loved their jobs and knew their jobs. Inflation was inevitable. Supply chain crashed, especially how the fool managed it. Yep. Trump is a fuck up, and he intentionally. If you listen to the Bob Woodward tapes, he intentionally mishandled COVID, which resulted in, some people say, 500,000 to 1 million unnecessary deaths. It could have been, from the very get-go, if they had followed the pandemic response guidelines that had been left to him from the Obama administration, this thing probably would have got nipped in the bud right from the get-go, man. But Trump would have no part of it. He threw that book out. So all those deaths are on Trump, man, as far as I'm concerned. Dan B says both parties aren't the same. There are just a few in the Dem party that need to take their head out of their asses. Yeah, that's true. They're not, like I said, it's not a perfect party, but it's a hell of a lot better one than the Republican Party. Josh, if I had $1 million sung to a tune of some sort. MJ Daniels says America has a template that works from FDR to Carter, proven success for average Americans, and Democrats need to remember our roots. We went through a golden age, right? Especially like the 50s, were like the golden age of America economy and of growing the middle class. And then by the time Reagan took office in 1980, it was like everyone forgot the success we had, and so we thought, yeah, unions suck. All of a sudden, you know. Bonnie Thompson says, "I'm poor. I'd take some of that billionaire money and spend it on cute T-shirts." Hey, Michael McAndrews, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Michael. Yippee to Michael McAndrews. Thanks for helping support the show. Says one party is helping a coup attempter get away with it, and that ain't the Democratic Party, right? Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Mr. Spock says, dismantle the global capitalism system, replace it with logical system that's truly equal for everyone. All the money in the world won't matter if you are not here. Logic rules. Well, maybe someday, Mr. Spock, maybe someday we will evolve to that. It might take generations. It might take centuries. I don't know, but maybe someday we will be in a more logical system. I don't see it happening anytime real soon, but who knows? Sometimes things are radically changed. Wow, we just made the goal already. I'm not. I'm behind in the chat, but I saw the little confetti pop up. So thank you guys so much. I'll get to them and I'll give you guys your yippies. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. MJ Daniel says, "Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more." Another song lyric there. Um, Famous '60s song there. Dan B. Republicans never gave a shit. Keep Elite. I fucking hate Josh Hawley. Phew, I just needed to get that off my chest. You know who I really hate? I hate. I'm no fan of Josh Hawley, but the one that really pisses me off right now is Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. What a what a c word. I'll just say a c word because some people don't like to even hear that word that I'm talking about. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. She admitted that the bill, the big beautiful bill, she admitted that it was a bad bill. She didn't like the bill, and yet she voted on it anyhow. And then she said she hoped that the Senate would not pass it. If you didn't like the bill so goddamn much, and it was such a horrible bill, then you shouldn't have voted for it, you stupid c word. Because if you hadn't voted, you were the one person. If you had not voted for it, then it would never have got passed and gone to the House. You could have stopped it, but you didn't because you didn't want some fucking maggot organization to say, "Look, Lisa Murkowski voted against the big beautiful bill." That's the only reason you did that. Even though you said in front of reporters that you didn't like the bill, you thought it was a bad bill, and that you hoped that it would fail in the House. You said that. Aren't you afraid that'll be used against you? You might get primaried because of that? But you voted for it because you were afraid of your own political career. You put that ahead of American lives. So, I mean, all the other senators, the Republican senators that voted for it, they're all just as bad. But because any one of them could have voted no, and it wouldn't have passed. So you can say about any of them. But Murkowski, I mean, she's on record as saying that she thought it was a bad bill and she didn't like it and all that kind of stuff. So she's just a really horrible, horrible person. But all the Republicans are horrible. But she's out there because of this. Josh, I'm going to get busy tomorrow. Probably 2 weeks. We'll be missing lives. Dick Rich, I like it when Trucker John does the brooming. Well, sometimes I just get pissy. Search for you. Orange is a horrible, stinking asshole. Hey, Roxanne Epstein's here. Good to see you, Roxanne. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. I do appreciate you hanging out. Bonnie Thompson is here. Says some elements of that death panel bill won't kick in until 2027. So if they didn't state Congress, Republicans blame them. But the key thing is taking Congress. So at that point, who cares if they get blamed? Because then they should have the power to at least enact something. You know, I guess it depends on the numbers that we get, but they should be able to do something to either, slow down the effects of these tax cuts and these cuts in these programs, or to reverse them. You know, the key is getting in there. Let's win this fucking election. Let's take over the House. Let's get the Senate. Let's do it. And then they can blame us all they want, and then we'll at least have some time to try to show the American people, no, we didn't do this. This is their doing, and now we're going to try to get some bills through to stop this. Now, I know Trump could veto everything, but depending on if we can get some veto-proof numbers, that's why people are saying we need 70%, we need all this, because we need to override. But I don't know. I just like our chances better if we have a democratically controlled Congress. But yeah, I understand that's what they're doing. That these things aren't taking effect until after the midterms for two reasons. One, because if it was before, then for sure the Republicans would be even losing even worse than they're going to lose. I think they're going to get their asses handed to them either way. But yeah, that's the strategy. That's what they're doing. Yeah, have it take effect after. Dan B says all they are is a bunch of hypocrites, pro-life. This is what they ran on forever, and then they turned down legislation to help children, SNAP, daycare, etc. They are for power and money only for them. Yeah, and then they had the fucking audacity to have a prayer, to say a prayer, get on their knees and pray right after they cut SNAP. Fuck you fucking morons, you fucking hypocrites. Talking to the Republicans, right? Just to be sure, you guys know. Search for You says we are going to have supply chain issues again when the tariffs go into effect, which I think is very soon. Yep. Absolutely. Unless he pulls them back again, like he does. Clato Burrito Nico says I heard Target is taking a hit because they stopped the DEI like Trump wanted him to do, and it got out. Costco kept their DEI and is actually doing way better. It wouldn't surprise me. I haven't heard really those reports, but Costco's always been a pretty good company. I believe they're union. If they're not union, they've been paying like union wages. They have good. They've been known for paying their employees pretty well and having good benefits and things. So I think they're union. But like I said, if not, they're very. They run it like a union house, a union job. So Costco, I've always when comparing Costco to like Sam's Club or something, I always preferred Costco just because of that, because it seemed like they treated their employees better. Michael McAndrews, $2 super. There's the $2 super chat. So yippee to Michael McAndrews. Y'all gonna make me spend all my money. Well, don't do that. Don't do that. And then there's the other $2 super chat. So another yippee to Michael McAndrews. See what you are doing. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Sammy Carter says the gutting of NOAA, FEMA, and the National Weather Service is all on Trump and his idiotic administration. The tragedy is all on him. I 100% agree, Sammy. 100%. Here's Aaron West with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Aaron West. Yippee to Aaron. So like, subscribe, and share. Let's get those subscriptions. We are on a mission to 6 million. Let's get 6 million subscribers. Tim Farrell's here. Hey, Tim. Good to see you. The Farrell one. The Feral cat. What did I say the other day? I said something like that. But thanks for being here. Nick Rich, $2 super sticker. Yippee to Nick Rich. Yippee. Thank you so much. And that's the one that achieved that got the goal. So thank you for that. And then just for shits and giggles, Michael Andrews coming in here with a $2 super chat says it's all your fault. So yippee, Michael McAndrews, for that. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Yippies all around. We got the yippies. I'm a yippee hippie. Yippee dippy hippie. Yippee dippy hippie weatherman. It's time to make my cat do her trick to earn fancy feast. Oh. You do that, huh? Your cat does a little trick. What is the trick that your cat does, Bonnie? Clato Barato Nico says Trump's team also trying to blame the deaths on Noah. That's their way of forecasting is out of date or does not work anymore, and the Trump team is going to update it with new technology. I think the old technology was working just fine, and yeah, if things need to be updated, then fine, update them. But I'm pretty sure it has more to do with them firing 600 people and their offices being understaffed, where they can't even operate 24/7 anymore, like they used to do, and they don't have people monitoring these things anymore, like they used to do. That's the issue. And Trump just trying to put it off on outdated technology is Trump being a little coward, being a little bitch, and not being able to stand up and take responsibility for anything because he's a fucking coward. Sandy Fold says, TJ, did you see the picture of my dog I had? I did see you. I did. I even responded. I said, aw. To your little cute doggy with the haircut, all shaved off and everything. Looks cute both ways, though. Nick Rich says, achieving the goal should mean we see Tough Cookie and Tough Beard Guy. All right, Nick Rich. That's a good one. Yeah, you're right. I'll have to look for him. I don't see him around right now, but they're around here somewhere. Claudio Barato Nico says, Trump, you can, let me see something. Oh, let me change glasses out. I forgot to change glasses. Got to put my show glasses on. All right. Woof. Look at there. Now, I didn't get my phone to 100% charge because I was out doing things and I was on the phone. I don't even remember how much charge I had. So hopefully we don't die. Hopefully the show doesn't die. Anyhow, yeah, Clato Brato Nico says Trump can blame the floods and the people not knowing in advance on NOAA for being short-staffed. Oh, I forgot you cut their staff. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have cut their staff, Trump. Bonnie Thompson, I need a t-shirt with Lisa Murkowski is a C word. Michael McAndrews, I think there will be a lot of damage to repair. I think the damage should have been prevented. Yeah, absolutely should have been prevented. Impeach and arrest. Yeah, we should have showed up in 2020 and we should have voted for Kamala Harris. And I understand there's all these things about cheating, and I think that was a factor, part of it. But I think a lot of it had to do with misogyny and racism and just voter apathy and media bias. Right-wing propaganda being very, very, very heavy, not just on TV, but in all forms of media, even in gaming. They infiltrate gaming. All of those things combined, outside influences like from Russia, all of that shit. But if Kamala Harris were president right now, we wouldn't be seeing any of this shit. We probably would be blissful. We'd probably just be ignorant. I mean, like, and blissful. We'd be blissful ignorance because we would just not so much you and I in this chat, but so many people out in the world. Life would have just gone on, and all of our programs would have been just going on and then probably improvements made to them. Under Harris, and then we would have people like Elizabeth Warren and AOC and Bernie, and some other folks in there just improving and fine tuning the Bidenomics, and to the point where people don't even realize it. That's part of the problem. Is the Democrats don't pat themselves on the back. They're not like Trump, who Trump takes a poop and he's like, look at my poop, it's such a great poop, you know. But the Democrats don't do that. Not that we want to care about their poop, but for anything that's really real and really legitimate and good, they don't seem to. They don't promote that shit. That's probably the biggest problem. We need promoters, I guess, to promote all the good things that the Democrats do. They just do them, and they don't really, capitalize on it that much. AM, did you mean see you next Tuesday? Yeah, something like that. Nick Rich, 1 o'clock, so I'm 12 minutes behind, by the way. Michael Gadger says my cat gives me actual hugs sometimes. He puts both his paws around my neck and headbutts me. That's so funny. That's so funny. Hey, Paul Sharky Mannion, good to see you from across the pond. Paul Sharky Mannion says, howdy, TJ and truckers. They are all a shower of shite. By they, maybe you're talking about Republicans or MAGAs, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Michael McAndrews, my cat loves to always do his routines. He does nose-to-nose bumps at dinner time. That's so funny. That's cute. That's pretty cute. Michael McAndrews then says, my cat also can bite real good when he is super targeting and pissed. Brooklyn SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, says, my cat comes out of the litter box and reprimands me if the box isn't good enough. She's like, you better clean this thing. Nick Rich, live better, work union. Michael McAndrews says only 5,998,000 to go. Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere. Michael McAndrews says my wife and had a couple of cats when I met her. We have had a couple other cats since. They all can be different in their personalities. That's for sure. Dan B talking about Trump. He's been a coward all his life. Claudio Verato Nico says, Trucker John, I was being sarcastic when I said about Trump improving NOAA. Laughing out loud, he is going to make it worse. Sorry about the typos. I'm not sure if I didn't catch that. Jolie says, the trick my cat does for fancy feasts is stare at me, meow continuously, and dig at me with her paws until I give it to her. It works every time. That's pretty funny. Hey, Walter Makarovich is here. Hey, Walter, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in to the lounge. Walter Makarovich says, hey, Trucker John, you know the message that must be part of 2026 midterms. Democrats are the only party of Jesus' teachings. Facts don't lie. I think the message that must be out there is we're not cutting your Medicaid. We're not in favor of that. In fact, we're in favor of expanding Medicaid. We're in favor of Medicare for all. That's the kind of shit they need to go out, and every time there's a microphone and a camera in front of their face, They need to say, hey, look, we're not the ones cutting social programs. It's the Republicans that are doing that. So if you're losing your Medicaid and you're losing your SNAP and you're losing your child tax credit and you're whatever it is they're losing, that's not on us, folks. That's on those guys over there, on the Republicans. That they need to emphasize where the blame should be put, in my opinion, and really emphasize the difference between the two parties and how under Joe Biden we had the world's greatest economy, envy of the world, and things were booming, and how under Trump, both times Trump has taken economies and tanked them. He's already tanking this one. He tanked. He got a really good economy from Obama, and he tanked it. He got a great economy from Biden, and he's tanking it. I think those are the things that need to be that must be part of the 2026 midterms. Bonnie Thompson says my cat has to sit in a box because she was afraid of boxes. Now she randomly sits in a box. Michael McAdra, my cat loves boxes. Cats do seem to love boxes. Search for you. So basically, America only wants a strong, good-looking white guy. Well, at least enough of them. And I don't know. So why vote for Trump? He's not good-looking. But enough of them to make a difference. Enough of them are misogynist and racist that made a difference. I'm not saying all that all Americans are that way, but there's enough of them, even on our side apparently, who just couldn't bring themselves to vote for Kamala Harris because she was a woman and she's a woman of color, a person of color. Just enough to make the difference. You know, because I do believe that the majority of Americans as a whole, and certainly the majority of Democrats or people who vote Democrat or even independents who lean Democrat, I believe the overwhelming majority of them are okay with a person of color and a woman being president. But I'm just saying there's just enough of that misogyny, even on our side, and racism that prevented her from winning. So take that, Brett Rose, or whatever the fuck your name is. Think I don't know what I'm talking about? There, I just gave you some fucking knowledge for you to go chew on. Josh, I get along with like 1 in 10 cats I meet. Really? That's not a very good ratio. Bonnie Thompson, let's be honest. Our cats only love us for the fancy fees. Josh says, yeah, TJ, we should double down. Cultivar Nico says, Trucker John, yes, you did say that concerning Trump will mess up Noah. I text that statement before you got to my text. Oh, okay. Nick Rich says, we had cats at home growing up. My older brother always named them. The last 3 he gave the same name to, Satch. At some point, someone should have said, look, dude, I'm taking over. Let me name this one because I'm tired of Satch. I think I'm gonna name this one. Michelle said, Michelle, thanks for being here, by the way. Michelle, welcome to the lounge. Michelle says, Trump is old and ugly inside and out. That is true. And I don't like to looks shame someone. God knows I'm old and ugly now too. But Trump kind of deserves it because of how judgmental he is on everyone's physical appearances and stuff. So he deserves to get that thrown back at him. That's why we do that to him and him only. Brooklyn, aka Trixie Lou says, I can't wear my La T-shirt. You have a La T-shirt? Kato Barata Nico says Obama had a Bush unemployment rate of 9.5 and brought it down before leaving office to 4.4. Trump had it down to 3.8 before he started changing things in his administration. Then it went back up. And then Biden brought it back down. Bonnie Thompson says, sometimes I sleep in my Kamala t-shirt. I mean, there's an A missing there. Alvin Stu, my cat's name is Talker Man. Nick Rich, funny thing, the names always fit. Brooklyn aka Trixie LaRue says I was talking to one of the Roxannes and remembered in college my alter ego in the pub. Oh, you were Trixie LaRue in the pub, huh? Josh, can I say that a Holman looks like a potato? Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he? Holman's a weird dude, and he's a Nazi, fucking straight up Nazi, and I hate Nazis. Me and Indiana Jones, we both hate Nazis. Well, I caught up. Now what do I do? I don't know. I don't know, man. The thing is going really slow. Why is it going so slow? Let's try this. Hello, everybody. Nick Rich 420. Yeah, so I'm a minute behind. For some reason, these things are not. There we go. Hello, everybody. Just waiting for a very special guest to show up any day now. Hey, we got 007 Kevin, the Troll Slayers here. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. There. Hey, did somebody say there was some sort of a goal was made, and so I guess I gotta show my ugly face in here. All right. Thanks for helping Trucker John achieve that goal. Couldn't do it without you guys. So I guess I'm the eye candy now that has to come in, save the show. Thanks everybody for the goals and the super chats. It's really awesome. You guys are awesome, and so I just want to say thanks. I hope everyone had a good weekend, 4th of July weekend. I know we're going through some trying times right now, but I hope everyone made the best of it. And at least we're able to spend some time with family and friends and things like that that are dear to you. So yeah, I hope you had a good one. Just thanks everybody for the super chats. It's really awesome. Help Trucker John keep the show going and growing. And I really do hope that he gets to 4,000 subscribers because I want to see him choke down that dandelion. I think that's going to be hilarious. So I can't wait for that. We're like 100 away or 90. I think we're less than 100 away. So maybe that'll happen. Hopefully. No, not maybe. No, maybe. What am I talking about? There are no maybes about it. We're going to get to 4,000. All right. It might not be till New Year's at this rate, or who knows when it's going to be. It might be in the 2026 midterms by the time he eats that damn dandelion. But, we'll keep going. We'll keep trudging along. We'll keep helping him out as much as we can. Anyhow, thanks a lot, guys. Just want to say thanks. Thanks for making the goal. And another person might be who you never know. There could be another guest. Oh, hello, everyone. Just popping in here. Hello, everybody. Why did I get... I almost had like an English accent there for a minute, and I'm not English. So I don't know what was going on there. For a moment there, I almost felt like I was being taken over by an English person. But that's just me. I probably could never, probably shouldn't even mentioned it. You wouldn't even know. But yeah, I also I just want to come in and say thank you everyone for helping us make the goal today and the super chats. I appreciate it. Tough Cookie appreciates it, and Trucker John appreciates it. So we all appreciate it. And yeah, I hope everything's going well with you guys. You know, we need places I think like Trucker John just to hang out and kind of have a place to kind of vent a little bit and commiserate and take our minds off things, and because it's going to be a rough time. So hopefully we can just hang out here and kind of mellow out for a little bit. Just mellow out, chill out. Except for when Trucker John, sometimes Trucker John gets a little cranky. Actually, kind of ruins the vibe. You know what I mean? Sometimes Trucker John could be his own worst enemy. He just kind of ruins the vibe when he gets all cranky and kicks people out of the chat room and things of this nature. But hey, you know, he is what he is. He is what he is. What he is, I don't know, but he is what it is. Well, I'm just talking in circles now. But yeah, I just want to say thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. So there you go. Thank you, guys. Thanks for achieving that goal today. You guys are awesome. All right, I'll see you the next time we create the goal. All right, or accomplish the goal, meet the goal. Bye. All right, yeah. So just like Paul the Beard Guy says, thank you guys so much for helping us with that, and just remind everyone, make sure if you haven't subscribed to hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 6 million subscribers. All right, guys. Let me go back. I do see 007, Kevin 007, 7077. Sir says, check your email. All right. All right. I'll go check my email. Then, let's see. Let's see if it's. When I check the email on my iPad, sometimes the iPad doesn't catch up. Let's see. I got something from Major League Baseball. Here's something from Need to Know by David Rathkoff. I don't know. This looks like some sort of spam. Here's something from Car Gurus. A 2013 Lexus RX 350 front wheel drive for $9,999. Great deal. $1,841 below market value. There's that. What else am I supposed to check? In my email. Here's my YouTube notification. Here's a bunch of promos from Noodle Rewards. Here's something from Los Angeles Dodgers. Ron Say Bobblehead Night is coming up on Friday, July 18th. Oh, I'd love to go to that. Here's something from Etsy. Here's a promo thing from DoorDash. Here's last chance for 15% off on Quip. Those are those little electric toothbrush things. Here's some sort of a thing from Deb Haaland of New Mexico. She used to be the Interior Secretary, I think, under Biden. And I don't know what she's doing now, but there's that. Some sort of campaign or some sort of a thing. So I don't. I don't see anything else in my emails. I checked my email. Michelle says, "Hey John, I watched your Uber taxi driving. It was cool. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you liked it. Jolie says my daughter has a cat named Spooky at Sandy Falls. He is a black cat. She got him on Friday the 13th. Wow, fitting name. Search for You says you're awesome. Thank you. Um, AM says check your email. Why does everyone want to check my email? I just checked my email. Like I said, when I'm on the iPad, sometimes it doesn't get everything right away. I don't know. Walter McCrever says, Trucker John, MAGA Republicans always use culture against us, but you know what I like. You know, but you know what I like. NASCAR, NFL, NHL, and a little country music here and there. So telling me that I don't is just a MAGA lie. Okay. I don't know who said that you don't. But Brooklyn, aka I heard a British accent. Yeah. Yeah, what was Paula Purple Beard guy? And all of a sudden got a little bit of English on it. You know what I mean? Nick Rich says getting glitchy. Are we getting glitchy? Are we getting glitchy? So for you, I'm so bossy. 007 Kevin, the Troll Slayer, says, aka Trixaloo, TJ is the mate with the fate on his plate. Okay. I don't know why my mic went out. Um, okay, can you guys hear me now? The mic died. I don't know why it died. I had it on the charger. You know, I thought it was fully charged. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm just not using the microphone. Yeah, muted. I was reading stuff. When I'm reading stuff, I wasn't even on the page. I was on my email because you guys kept saying check the emails. And I was reading about, I read a whole long thing about Dr. Annie Andrews, who is running for U.S. Senate in South Carolina against Lindsey Graham. So that whole last, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes was all about that. So all I'm going to say is if you want to, anyone who wants to help, you know, a campaign against Lindsey Graham, and you want to contribute to that campaign, just look up Dr. Annie Andrews, you know, South Carolina, and you can read. And I was just saying, you can just research her if you want to, because it would be nice if some of these assholes get voted out, like Lindsey Graham. Anyhow, so I don't know why the mic died. I charged it up just like I always do. It usually lasts at least for the whole show. And we've only been on an hour and 29 minutes, so I don't know why it did that. I don't know why. Nick Rich got to go in about 5 minutes. Family phone call. Thanks, Nick, for being here. I appreciate you. Have a good call with the family. Robert Nichols, can you repeat that, please? Well, I just gave you sort of a really short version of it. Michelle, vote blue no matter who. 7B2. Hey, 7B2, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Caleb Guillory says, hey, y'all, I'm still alive for now. Hang in there, Caleb. I don't know what state you're from. I know you were saying that with these Medicaid cuts and stuff that it's going to kill you. Hopefully, what we've been talking about, a lot of these cuts won't take place until after the midterms in 2026 and go into effect in 2027. In the meantime, I would just get in contact with your representatives, tell them how these cuts are going to affect you and kill you, and just use that terminology, man. And like I said, I don't know if you're in a red state or a blue state or whatever it is, but in the meantime, I would just be on the phone or calling my representatives, or I'd be sending those a postcard to them. And you know, what have you got to lose, you know? Barefoot Bear's here. Hey, Barefoot Bear, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the little Truckers Lounge. AM, I can't read lips. I'm back on, right? You guys can hear me now, right? Unless you're behind in the video, in the live stream. Michelle, hopefully we'll be alive to vote. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, let's stay alive. Let's try to stay alive. STEM2B2, his audio is back. Restart if you don't have it. Keep Elite 2026, turn red into purple, purple into blue. Yep. Jolie says, donate to defeat Lindsey Graham. Annie Andrews, donate via Act Blue. So yeah, that's who I was, spent the whole time I was muted. I was talking, I was reading her campaign email that I received, because people were saying to check my email, so that's why I found that. And if you want to donate, and like I said, or if you want to, research her a little bit before you donate, I'm sure you could Google her and you would find whatever you need to find out. Nick Rich still trolling M Hunt. Oh, there's Mike. Mike H. Trump rules. Laughing out loud. Mike H. Otherwise known as Joel the Troll. Yeah, Trump just ruling. He's just ruling, isn't he? He's ruling the fuck out of this country. Barbara Nicholas says, at least you don't have to do words of wisdom at the end. Michelle, keep peaceful protests alive and register. Right, that's right. Let's keep protesting peacefully, or marching. Maybe we should call these marches instead of protests. And let's get out there, make our voices heard, our presence known. Caleb Guillory says Trump soils himself and wears diapers and wears makeup and shoe lifts. So there. I still don't know why my mic died. Maybe it's just getting old. Things don't have the stamina and endurance that they had when they were younger. You know, I get it. Caleb Guillory says, yes, Trump is, I guess, turning the country or ruining the country. I don't know. Like one of his businesses, probably ruining the country. Like one of his businesses into bankruptcy while he cashes out. He's definitely cashing out because before he was president, I think he was almost broke, and now he's apparently made, billions. Oh, running. Trump is running the country like one of, yeah, okay. Running, rooting. When it comes to Trump, it's all the same. Stephanie B2 says, hello, dear Jolie. I can't believe how fast my plants are growing. Fox Farms soil for the win. Dan B, all he is a total fake. Yeah, he's a con man. And con men are fakes. They present themselves as something that they are not, so that they can fool people into giving him their money. That's basically what he is. Big, giant con man. And con does stand for confidence. That's what the con and con man stands for, confidence. He's a confidence man. He fools people into getting their confidence, so then he can get from them whatever he wants. 007 Kevin, the Troll Slayer, says that Caleb Guillory, Trump farts. He has no smart. Maybe she smarts. He has no smarts, and he thinks Kmart is S-Mart. Nick Rich, 4:45 Eastern Time. Gotta fly, guys. It's been great fun. Catch you all later. Thanks, Nick Rich. We will see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to try on Tuesdays and Thursdays to go back on at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I know might be confusing. I'm going back and forth. The times are all different. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to go back to 9. And that way, I think Hal Sparks is back east, and so his times are going to be all screwed up. I don't know. It kind of screws everything up. But on a normal, on a normal schedule, that way I will get the 9 to 11 slot that a lot of you guys are used to doing because of Hal on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is on that time. So I think Tuesday and Thursday I'll go back to 9 to 11, and then that way we can segue right into Boston Brian. And then after Boston Brian, we can go on to whoever's after that. Nicole or 21st Century or whomever. So I think I'm going to try on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to try to work it so I can go back to 9 a.m.
So tomorrow, Nick Rich, if you're still there, I'll see you at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which will be, I guess, like noon your time. Caleb Guillory says he sells flea market trinkets at 2 to 5 times the value of a premium product. Yeah, just spray paint some gold paint on something, slap a Trump name on it, and voila, there you go. And then sell it for, yeah, like I said, 2 to 5 times, and sometimes even more than that. Michelle says Trump and Republicans Congress gave a lot of money to ICE. Oh, they increased their budget in that bill by at least tenfold, I think. And they took away, from all these other programs just so they could fund ICE. And that is Trump trying to, I think, that's his army. He's going to have the camps, the concentration camps, and his own little private army. That's what that's all about. And that should scare the shit out of everybody. And I hope we don't allow it